Hi, good evening. My name is Bidemi, and welcome to a beautiful Friday with me. Let's see who will be our first viewer today. Let's see. Let's see who will be our first viewer today. Is anybody there? Let's see. Anyway, while we wait for people to show up, I'm going to start. I'm going to start now. Welcome. Okay, Son is up. Let me see who is the person. So good to see you. Good afternoon. Please, as you come in, please share. Okay, let's see. Mabel Rai. How are you today? So good to see you. It's a beautiful Friday here in North Cyprus. So, good to see you, ma'am. Good to see you. Let's see if any other person will join us. I'll just start straight away so people can join us later. So today, I will be talking about the principles of personal growth. The principles, let's say someone else is with us. Queen Modukwe, so good to see. How are you? How are the babies? Queen Stella, so good to see you. How are you? So good to see you too. So today, I'll be talking about the principles of personal growth. The principles of personal growth. And yes, I'm fine, so I'm very well. I'm going to start from a quote by Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor. It said, change is inevitable, but personal growth is a choice. Change is inevitable, but personal growth is a choice. Queen Shonya, welcome. So good to see you. So, like I said, change is inevitable. One of the things that you cannot avoid, one of the things that is constant, it's only God that does not change. But one of the constant things is change. So, change is inevitable, but personal growth is a choice. So, what is personal growth? What is personal growth? What is personal growth? Before I define what personal growth is, I would love to ask you, do you think you are growing? Do you think you are growing? I know growing in stature. Yeah, people grow in stature. But I mean in every other areas of your life. Do you think you are growing? And I'm going to define what personal growth is. Personal growth involves the daily development in the areas of one, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and social growth that allows an individual to live a life of productivity and fulfillment. I'm going to go over it again, but pay attention to the points I analyzed in the definition. Personal growth involves the daily development in the areas of your mental, your emotional, your physical, your spiritual, and your social growth that allows an individual to live a life of productivity and fulfillment. So I want to ask you, I asked the question before and I said, are you really growing? So now the question is, are you growing in the areas of your mental area, your emotional area, your physical, your spiritual, and your social. Social has to do with interaction with the community, interaction with people. Spiritual is your spiritual life. Spiritual involves everything about you. Involves your mind, it involves your whole being. Then your physical is your body. Exercise is good. Taking water is good. Your health is very important. Your emotional also has to do with your mind. It has to do with your totality of your being. Your mentality, your mind. Are you developing your mind? So it's so important that as you grow through the phases of your life on a daily basis, it's important that you engage in personal growth. And I'm going to share some insights with you on personal growth. Number one, if you don't take responsibility for your growth, it won't happen. If you don't take responsibility for your growth, it won't happen. It simply means that growth is not automatic. It's not something that you live your life to chance, or you live your life to, okay, maybe tomorrow things will be better. Maybe next tomorrow things will be better. Maybe in 3-4 years time things will be better. Things will only be better if you do what you need to do. Things will only be better if you keep growing in those areas that I've mentioned. Why do you think that in countries we have leaders as babies? So people lead in a whole country, they act like babies. Why do you think that they act? And you'll be wondering, how do they think? The reason is because they might be growing in stature, but when it comes to the development of their minds, their mind is empty. And you can't give what you don't have. You cannot give from an empty place. So if you don't take responsibility for your growth, growth won't happen. So it has to be deliberate. It's something you have to do. You have to schedule a time for it. You have to give yourself to personal growth. And the reason why you have to give yourself to personal growth is, one, it's not just for only you. As you grow, definitely, you will know that you are growing. But for your environment, for your country, for your family, if you don't grow, there's nothing to give them. The society is going to feed them with junks. So it's so important that if you don't take responsibility for your growth, it won't happen. Number two, I already mentioned it in my first point. Number two, growth is not automatic. So you have to schedule a time for it. Growth is not automatic. So you have to schedule a time for it. Let me give you an idea, and let me ask you a question. When you wake up in the morning, what are those things that you do? What do you do when you wake up? Some people, when they wake up, the first thing is their phone, their laptop. They just do things that are not productive. One of the best times to study, one of the best times to develop your mind is for you to wake up early to develop your mind. So the first thing you do in the morning is to develop yourself. So the mornings are very good. The mornings are so interesting when it comes to reading or studying or feeding your mind. It's so important. So growth is not automatic. So you have to schedule a time for it. Number three, to improve your why, you have to improve yourself. To improve your why about life, about your purpose, about what you want to become, you have to improve yourself. If you're not improving yourself, you will have nothing to offer to people. You will have nothing to offer to people. Likewise, you cannot limit your growth to just social media. Yeah, there's a lot to learn online. There's a lot to learn. My Facebook is like a book. I've added those that when I read their quotes, when I read their write-ups, it helps me grow. So if you don't improve yourself, you can't give so much. You have limited to give out. You just be giving out junks. You just be giving out crumbs. So to improve your why, to improve your purpose, to be able to be solid, to be well grounded in your purpose, you need to improve yourself. It's not maybe you need to know. It's compulsory you need to. Because if you don't, your family, your kids, your wife, your environment, your friends, you won't have so much to give to them. You won't have so much valuable words to give to them. You won't be able to advise them properly because you are not well read and because you are not well informed. So 3, to improve your why, you need to improve yourself. Number 4 is that it's important to recognize the value of growth before much time passes. It's important to recognize that growth should not be a choice for you. For you, growth, personal growth, should be a compulsion. Let me say that again. For you, growth should not be a choice. Growth should be a compulsion. So, if you're raising up a family, your inner circle, your friends, everyone that is connected to you, growth is not something you think that is a choice. No. It's a compulsion. It should be a compulsion for you. It should be a necessary criteria for you. It should be just like, on a daily basis, we all eat food on a daily basis. We eat. That's what growth, personal growth, should be like for you on a daily basis. On a daily basis. At the end of the day, you must ask yourself, did I grow today? Yes, stature-wise, yes. You must have gone to the gym, but you've not developed your mind. Your soul, Robin Sharma calls it, he says your soul set, your heart set, and your mindset, they are not developed. But physically you are developed. So before you begin to grow so old, please take personal growth or personal development so serious. In fact, for me, I place personal growth above everything else. And when I say personal growth, is everything that contributes to my growth. Every single thing that contributes to my growth, that contributes to my well-being, that helps me to shape my mind, that shapes my life, that contributes to my emotionality, that contributes to my family. So before you grow so old, and before your kids, before your kids grow that much, and before they begin to get to 20, 21, 20, 25, 30, make personal growth a compulsory thing for them. Let me share something with you. I live within the university system. And do you know that we have youths that growth, they go through the month. By the time you ask them in a month that, what have you learned? Do you know that some of them don't read? Do you know that some of them don't even listen to anything that develops them? Then I became curious. I began to ask them questions. I said, so what do you listen to? What drives you? What motivates? What have you been doing for a whole month? So it's necessary for us to encourage every person around us. They need to pay attention to their personal growth above everything else, because you can't lead a nation when you are not developed. You can't lead a nation when your mind is not developed. That's why you see leaders behaving like babies. They say things that you can't imagine. How did they say that? Because their minds are not developed. Number five. Only through continuous improvement can we reach our potentials. Only through continuous improvement can we reach our potentials. The Bible says out of the abundance of the heart proceeds the issues of life. I see that verses. So if you don't feed your mind, there's nothing abundance that you can give out. You can't really give much out. You can't give much out. And like you all know that God has blessed everyone. What is the potential? Potential is what is a raw format of what God has given you. It's just raw. It's just something, it's a gift that is raw that has not been developed. But the only way, the one of the best ways to reach the peak of our potential is to continually develop ourselves. Consistently. Even if you are 50, even if you are 60. You know, my father, when I was back in Nigeria, he reads a lot. But I couldn't understand why he used to read a lot. Even on Sundays, sometimes he wouldn't go to church. He would read, but I was always curious. Why is daddy not going to church? Why is he not, just like every other person? But now that I'm grown, I could really see what he was saying. I'm able to see the fact that he was able to understand that the beauty of life is the ability to grow and to give from what you've learned, the ability to give out from what you've learned. So only through continuous improvement can we reach our potentials. Only through continuous improvement can we reach our potentials. Number 6 is focus in growing areas of your strength. I know I think in business, it's also in economics, but in business, that's what we call SWOT analysis. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. By now, as adults, or even as your children grow, you should make them recognize, even if they can't see, you should help them see those things that they are very good at. You should know your strength by now. You should be able to know what part that you are so strong at. You should also be able to know what part you are so weak at. So focus on growing your strength. Focus on growing your strength. It doesn't mean you should neglect your weakness, but know your weakness. Work on your weakness to become a better person. In fact, work on your weakness in such a way that it grows to become your strength. Work on your weakness that it grows to become your strength. But what puts you at a competitive advantage above others? When I say above others, does not mean you are above them. They also will have a competitive advantage over you. Just like organizations. Organizations have their own strength. They have their own strong points as good as they have their own weak points. But what they use to make their profit is their strength, is their selling point. So in summary is that focus on that path you are so strong at. Develop it so much. Develop it in such a way that I think there's a quote that says that if you spend 1 hour every day working on something, in 5 years' time, you will be so good at it. There's a principle called the principle of 10,000 hours. So focus on your strength. Focus on your strength. Number 7. If you're married or you have those that are responsible to you, those that are that you're responsible for, ensure that you grow together. So as a man, you should ensure that you pull your wife along. You should ensure that you are on the same page. You should ensure that you are on the same page. It might not be easy. It might not come so easily. But ensure that you flow with everyone that is accountable to you, or that you know that they are under your care. You must be growing together. You must be, it's not, like I said, it's not a choice. If you make it a choice, it's going to backfire on the long run. It's going to backfire on the long run. So you have to work out strategies. You have to work out ways whereby everyone that is under your care, you guys have to grow together. You guys have to, improve yourselves together. Then I think this is number 8. I'm just going to, number 8. As your kids grow up, ensure you pay attention to their mental, emotional, and spiritual growth. Let that be your priority. Don't focus more on the outside. As your kids grow, just like everyone who is responsible to you, maybe you have those you are taking care of, you are mentoring, you have those you are guiding, or as a parent to, or as a guardian to, ensure that their mental, emotional, and their spiritual growth becomes your priority. Focus on, because everything they do, spiritual, mental, emotional, has to do with the mind. Physical has to do with the body. Even if you eat well, if you do much exercise as well, they also affect your health. But these 3 things, pay attention to them. Have a tete-a-tete. Have a discussion with your kids. Have a discussion with your wife. Have a discussion with your inner circle. You guys have to make personal growth deliberate, not a choice. And the last point that I'm going to give to you is create an environment that enables you to grow. Create an environment that enables you to grow. It's so important. Your environment can either make you, or it can actually tamper with your brain. It can really tamper with your mind. Your environment can tamper with your spirituality. Your environment can tamper with your being. Your environment can tamper with your personality. Your environment can tamper with the way you see things, your thought patterns. Your environment is so crucial. I hope you know that as we grow up, our environment really formed a larger percentage about us. Everything you see as we grow up is a function of what the environment dishes out. Is a function of what the environment gives out. So you and I have to make it a responsibility to create an environment. When I say environment, an environment could be physical or it could not be physical. For example, if you are in a place that you can't immediately change your physical environment, what you need to do is to, and that's why you have the internet. The internet is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth and personal development. Find good books. Find good people that you can listen to. People that can help you to grow. People that can help you to, even friends. You could also have environments around friends that don't help you to grow. If you have friends that don't help you to grow, I'm sorry, it's time to say bye-bye to them. Not that you're angry with them, but if they're not contributing anything to you, then it's a waste of time. So create an environment that enables you to grow. Create an environment that enables you to become a better person. And you should note one thing, that everything you do on a daily basis, every single thing, nothing is left out, contributes to forming your personality, contributes to forming who you are. So as you go and as you grow, don't make personal development a choice. Make it a compulsion for you. And if you have kids in university, if you have those who they are accountable to you, please call them up and find out what they do with their time. A lot of people waste their time. I can't tell you, thousands of youths in activities that doesn't contribute to them. So it's our duty to teach what is right. It's our duty to also contribute to the growth of people. And I hope you've been able to learn something. I hope, I've been able to reach out to you and reach out to your mind with this rich information. Let me say hello to everybody. I really have a lot of people watching me. Maybe Rise, so good to see you. You can write to me. You can write and let me know one thing you've learned, so that I can also learn from you. You can write. Let me know what you've learned. Let me know what you've learned. Modukwamishore, Shelton, so good to see you. Queen Stella, Queen Shon Yaya, Shobawale, Oluwatoyin, Mr. Dama, Ya Olaide, Mr. Yomi Jegede, Pastor Innocent Ukuku, so good to see you. Image Armstrong, this is my friend. I don't know where I think he's watching from Cyprus. Yeah. And Shasha Gould, so good to see you. So I wish you a beautiful evening. And please, one more request. Please hit your share button. Just hit the share button. Hit the share button. I love you all. Thank you so much for your time. I remain your personal development coach, Abidemi Shomoye. Bye and God bless. Bye.